Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you a quick self-portrait which I'm going to do of myself. It is very early in the morning, it's only about 9 o'clock in the morning up in the Highlands, but there is sunlight outside, although it is quite an overcast day. I'm going to be shooting inside the house of myself, and as you can see we've got lots of lights inside which are what we'd call a warm colour temperature. So they're not hot, they're not blue, they're kind of orangey brown. And outside it's overcast, but I want an image so it looks like it's on a sunny day. So I'm looking out to the sunshine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit there and I'm going to look out that window, and I've got my flash just up here, so it's going to be hitting me as if that's the sunlight. But what I'll do is first of all show you how all this stuff works with TTL through the lens, which is how your flash and your camera communicate with each other, especially with Nikon's CLS, Creative Lighting System, and how we can get it all to work together just using TTL and just slightly changing the settings on it, and also using a thing called gels as well. So what I've done, I haven't brought my tripod, whoops, my actual digital SLR, I don't have my cable to get onto my laptop. So I'm just going to show you the photos through this camera. So what I've done is I have set up my camera so it is just balanced on top of a glass there, and I've got it on my Tamron lens. I've pre-focused it so it's focused on that pillow over there. And what I'll do is, first of all, I want to set the white balance. On the back of the camera, if I hold down white balance, you can see it's at a temperature here. So you can have it on, if you notice down here, these are all the different, so cloudy, flash, sunlight. Let's say we go to auto first and we take a photo. Let's see what that looks like. No flash. Okay, so it's done a pretty good job at roughly getting the right colours. It's quite a warm temperature there already, and you'll notice the back bit is flashing because that's saying that's totally blown out, which is fine because that's not important. But what we are wanting to do is bring in the light of outside along with the flash, so that we don't want the outside to look dark. So what we're going to do is we are going to put the camera onto not speed, not program, not manual, but auto mode. So it's saying roughly a 60th of a second and f2.8. And then what we'll do is we'll just set the white balance by holding down the white balance, taking it off auto, going to manual, which is what we call K, and then we can flick around with the temperature here. With it being sunny outside, I would say the temperature is roughly around about 5,000. So let's take a photo there. And to me that looks a little bit warmer, but effectively it's the same photo. But it's good to use the manual white balance setting just so that you always know what the white balance is going to be, especially if you're shooting in JPEG. Now the next thing is to get the flash working. So we go into flash, and if you're doing it through a normal menu setting, you go into custom settings menu and you go down to bracketing and flash. And sync speed you don't need to worry about, shutter speed don't need to worry about, flash control for built-in flash, that's where you want it on commander mode. And I'm going to have it so the built-in flash doesn't have any effect, so that's on dash, but the main flash that we're going to be using is going to be on TTL, so that means through the lens. Now, considering there's so much white light or blown out light in the background, I suspect that the flash won't be very powerful. So we'll get the camera on timer. Okay, this time, sitting here, maybe looking out towards the flash. Okay, and as you can see, it looks alright. You can see there's a little bit of flash coming off the camera. And you can see my shadows there, but I want it to be a little bit more obvious. So what we would do there, go to menu settings again, go to the flash, commander mode, and then on the group A, we'll just increase the power of the TTL. Let's bring it up 2 stops. This should be a really powerful flash, and then make sure we click OK, and then let's get ready again. Okay, so there I'm kind of happier with the look to that shot than the one before. The one before not quite as bright. There it really looks like the sun is shining in onto me. But it looks like quite a white light. I would like it if it was slightly warmer. So this is how we do that. What I got is this stuff. Roscoe Strobist collection. Only costs about £8. And in it you get a whole bunch of these things which are called gels. And I'll show you how many we get. We get quite a lot. In fact, we get a load. And there's quite a lot of duplicates, the doubles of each. And you've got blue and orange. Those are the main ones that you'll be using. Green if you're using some fluorescent lights. But as I want it to look like there's a warm light, the main one I'm going to be using is this one, which is the half CTO, which means color temperature orange, which if you're using a daylight flash, which is at 5,500 Kelvin, it brings that temperature effectively down to 3,800, which is kind of like a warm inside lamp. And that is what it looks like. Just a little bit of plastic. And as you can see, if this camera's got good white balance just now, whenever you put this over, the place becomes warm. So it's a nice, warm, almost sepia-like tone there. And this camera will slowly try and change its white balance so it makes this white. Then if I take it away, the place looks blue. So anyway, that's a little bit white balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick that into the flash. Take off the front cover, and then you just place the gel inside and stick it back up. Well done me for doing that with one hand. And then we'll just go and take that photo again. Okay, and as you'll see, that kind of looks like it is a much warmer picture, because I've kept the white balance on the camera the same. Compared to the previous one, there's a white light, and there's a sunny light. And there's the weak, so going from the start, that's the weak flash, that's the strong flash, that's the flash with the warming gel on it. Gel, no colour temperature gel on it. So I think that makes it look like a nice sun rising over the side of the hill and just hitting me inside the house with an overcast background. I think it looks quite nice, apart from the fact that I'm in it. So there you go. So that's just some of the ways where your camera can communicate with your flash, and how you can do it all with TTL, through the lens technology, without having to go and didn't have to touch the flash once, apart from when it's putting in a colour temperature gel in there. So there you go, hope that helps. Cheers, bye.